This is the second part of our lecture of 25th of November. We start to speak about the expectation of variable. Sometimes this type of expectation is, as we denoted it by A of x. Sometimes it's called momentum because you integrate the function x. Remember that this was integral from a to d, and here we have x, px, dx. We can call this momentum because this is here in front of probability density. We have x to the power 1. So this is expectation. Sometimes it is called media or momentum, first momentum. Different books, different notions, but it is better to know that this is important quantity. And now we want to see how we can eventually go further, but in the case when instead of one random variable, we have two random variables. To motivate our example, let us start with remember we had the of Preda-Predatore, Lotka-Volterra, and I want to present something that is in this direction, not speaking only with viruses and terrible diseases. We have real-life Lotka-Volterra situation. In this case, we have the following example. I don't know if the cats make family. Somehow we can say, okay, if the mother is a cat, then happen. If the mother is a cat, then from this cat we may have, in the natural case, when this cat can be reproduced, we may have, for example, from one female cat, we can have different childs. We can have 1, 2, 3 childs, 4. Let us assume that the cat may have up to 5 childs. Somehow, the cats here may be also different. Some of them we can say or male or female, but I shall divide them by the color. Some of them, if we avoid the colors and use only black and white, we can say, okay, the black cat in the night can be hidden very well, so they catch more mouses, more effective in hunting, and therefore here we may have seen from 1 kilometer, therefore the mouses disappear immediately and they have difficulties to catch the mouses. Therefore, we may say the events are white or black cats. So for in this case, we may say, okay, some white, some are black. For example, one possibility is that let us suppose that probability to be black and white is the same. Black and white And let us speak about, for example, the following. Probability that one event that we can say is that next generation is formed by 0 cats. Next generation is formed by 1 cat. Next generation is formed by 2 cats up to 3, 4, and 5. For each cases, of course, we can say this cat may be black or white. Therefore, we have 2 possibilities. And therefore, we can say that our random variable is, for example, to have x shall be the number of white cats, epsilon shall be the number of black cats. Therefore, what we know is, for example, in this case, is x plus y is 1. Therefore, or x is 1, epsilon is 2, we have x 0, x1. Therefore, we have 1 white cat, epsilon is 0. But then we have to say, what shall be the probability for this event? Of course, we have to the probability to have, for example, for our mother, probability to have 1 child. Therefore, let us do the following. Probability for 1 child, which means x plus epsilon equal 1. Let us suppose is 0.15. Probability x plus y to be 2 is 0.35. You see now we have 50. Probability x plus y equal 3. Let us assume this is something that from some experiments we know the number of childs to be 1, 2, 3. For example, here we have 0.3 and probability x plus y. Let us suppose some data gives us 0.2. What happens if you take the sum? If I'm not mistaken, the sum is 1. So what is the conclusion? If you are asking what is probability for number of next generation to be 0, this is 0. And also probability next generation to have 5 cats is also 0. Therefore, here we have probability 0, and also here we finish. We have at most 4 cats. Imagine the data are such that smaller table. Now we have really to try, for example, to evaluate what is the probability to have 1 white cat the next generation. So we have to compute probability x to be 1 and epsilon to be 2. Of course, this case is similar to the symmetric case. Probability x to be 0, epsilon equal 1. How we shall compute this? We shall take probability to have 1 child, 0.15, and then we shall use the fact that here probability for white is 1/2. Therefore, we have to take the product of dice, and we have to take 0.15 times 1/2. This is 0.5, and therefore, if you take 0.5, what is the result? 0.075. So this is probability that we have one white cat. What is probability to have one black cat? Of course, x is 0, y1 means again we have the same 0.15 multiplied by 1/2 is 0.075. So this means 7.5%. What shall be the other solution? If we have 2, what are the possible cases? Cases in this case are x equal to epsilon 0. Then we have x equal 1, epsilon equal 1. And finally, we have x 0, epsilon equal 2. What practically does it mean? Here we have 2 random variables. Practically, first we have to define our domain omega, because when you have a more complex model with 2, 3, n random variables, you have to include your probability set. What we can say for our example, our probability set in this case is not only is not formed by these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have somehow to any couple of numbers associate corresponding probability. Therefore, which are the cases that practically we have to examine in this case? In case of 2 random variables, the simplest solution is to consider a table such that for example, here we take x and here we shall take epsilon. What are possible values of x and epsilon? X can be 1, then x can be 2, x can be 3, probably the simplest solution also to add here 0. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Formally, we should put also 5. What is possible solution for our epsilon? Of course, our epsilon is between 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have a table. Remember that tables, they in this case is a square table, have how many rows, how many columns? 5 columns, 6 columns and 6 lines. Okay. We said when x plus epsilon is 0, we have probability 0. So the only case when we have 0 next generation, here probability is 0. Also, we said then when x plus epsilon is 5, probability was 0. Therefore, always here I can put 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and in this way, table is very simple. What we computed here, x equal 1, epsilon 0. Where in the table we have 1, 0. 1, 0, x1 epsilon 0 is this square. So we have to put 7.5%. Let us write it more clearly. 7.5%. Similar calculation we did here, 7.5. How we can compute this guy? Probability x to be 2, epsilon to be 0. Of course, probability to have two cats in the next generation is 0.35. So we have to take 0.35. But now we have to take into account probability the first guy to be 1. So the first guy, one of the cats to be, because here we have 2 cats. We need to compute among all possible combination 2 cats that may be black, white, in arbitrary way. How many times we have the white cat twice? Of course, total combinations are 4. Black, black, white, white, black, white, white, black. And only one is the case between these 4 cases, is the case of white, 2 times white cat. Therefore, we have to take this, multiply it by 1/2 to the power 2. And of course, here you compute this quantity and put this quantity in x2 epsilon 0. I have to put it here. So step by step, this scheme with appropriate calculations, you fill your table, and as you can see, in this case, natural space of omega is not only this set of elements, but the table. How we can imagine this table? We simply set our set is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is our set, let's say, our set A. Our set omega is not simply A. We have to take our set omega, shall be A, product A. What does it mean, A product A? This is so-called product of 2 spaces that is formed by all couples A, B, such that A belongs to A and B belongs to the same space A. So when you have the same space, instead of considering only X, you consider the whole table, therefore the whole couples. The most simple way to imagine this product of 2 finite sets is simply to take the table such that on horizontal line is our set A, on vertical the same set A. If we have this then we can say that we have a little bit more sophisticated situation, and our probability density for the case when instead of 1 random variable we have 2 random variables is different. Let us now make this general setting. And then turn back to our example. Okay. We have we said we have to consider the case of two random variables and explain what is the probability density, what is probability space, case of two random variables. X and Y. Typically, if X is a random variable, then we can say that with X is associated some omega X. Then we have algebra of sets associated with U1. Let us consider for the simplicity discrete case at the beginning. And then go by analogy using simply replacement of sums with great integrals to go to continuous. But first, let us suppose that omega 1 is finite set. As you suggested, some subsets of the integer number. Finite set. And let us suppose that epsilon has probability space that is associated with this omega 2. Subsets of n. Finite sets. Of course, in many cases, these two sets can coincide, as we discussed before, when we have the same set A, formed by elements 0, 1, up to 6. In this case, when you have two random variables, in general, with these two random variables, x, epsilon, we have to take the product of these two sets. We said that the product is formed by all couples, we can call them x, epsilon, such that x belongs to omega 1, while epsilon belongs to omega 2. Normally, you put on the horizontal line omega 1 all your elements, and then on vertical, you put omega 2, and it's a table that was similar to the table that we had before. So what does it mean that we have two random variables? These two random variables given means that there exists density small p, but this time our small p depends not only by x but also by epsilon. Depends on our two discrete variables that we use in our product. Again, this is a function that is belonging to the interval 0, 1. For any x epsilon, this function is between 0 and 1. And now, very important property. When you take the sum when x belongs to omega 1. Of course, this shall be a finite sum because we said omega 1 in the discrete set is formed by finite number of elements. You take the sum x belongs to omega 2, and then you have your px epsilon. This has to be exactly 1. And we shall call this function, small function p, density of the two random variables. This is general setting showing that if you have two random variables, you have to have very clear picture for your table to know given x, given epsilon, small x epsilon in omega 1 and omega 2, what is density that is depending of our two variables. Okay, let me give you some example showing that for two random variables we can construct in many cases this probability density. Okay, example. Let us suppose we have two different cities far away, Milano and Napoli, and you start to count, for example, in one house, number of cats. You don't care about the color of cats. You simply ask in a fixed house, what is probability to have, for example, in Milano, this is bigger city, so you may have 0, 1, 2, or 3 cats. And of course, for this random variable, say x, to have x is the random variable to have 0, 1, 2, or 3 cats. 4 is impossible, no big city. You may have at most 3 cats. You have corresponding probability density, that is 0, P1, P2, P3. This means that the sum to have probability density shall be 1. All these numbers are between 0 and 1. And suppose that for Napoli, you may have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Of course, you can have 40, not 40 cats. Napoli is really free to have as many cats, but not so much, because then there is a problem. And therefore, suppose you have for this random variable epsilon corresponding Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Then, thinking about the following, these two cities, they are far away. In some sense, our variables should be independent. What happens in Napoli is not influenced. Let us take simplest case, they are independent. But then I can produce for my couple of two events, I can produce my function that I call p, x epsilon, in very simple way. This shall be p of x multiplied by q of epsilon. Here x is 0, 1, 2, 3. X is 0, 1, 2, 3, while epsilon is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can see that the simplest case constructing probability density for our two random variables is simply to take this product, and then we can say if we have to check the sum, let us use the sum, what will happen? If I put here, instead of this guy, P of X, Q of Y, I am looking for Y. This means my X is completely independent. I shall take Px, shall put outside, and I shall take sum X belongs to omega 1, P of X, and then I have sum in Y, Q of Y. This is in omega 2. And you can say me immediately, but this sum, we know that is exactly 1. Also, this sum is exactly 1. This is 1, this is 1. So we immediately get that the perfect case, when our probability density is like this, we simply have this relation. But again, this is exceptional case. Our model, we take really two random variables which are very, very independent. In general case, depends on the problem, but we have to define our function. This is simply example of one possible choice of our probability density of two random variables. In general, the random variables, they may interact, and therefore we cannot have so simple probability density. In many cases, after this we shall see and shall define more rigorously this notion, we shall say that these two random variables are independent if the probability density can be defined in such simple way. Okay, I think now we can go to the continuous case, because continuous case is very simple. Extension. The only thing we have to substitute our sums with integrals, and therefore we have, for example, the following definition that we shall support by appropriate example. Examples is to take us in Lotka-Volterra. Once we started with Lotka-Volterra, we continue with this, to say our random variable is x is the number of cats, y shall be the number of mouses. It is that due to our deterministic model, we know that there is dependence. These two numbers are not independent. More cats we have, I think then we shall have less number of mouses, and mouses you have, if the number of cats is very small, the process of diminishing of mouses shall be relatively small. Therefore, we have kind of deterministic approach. But let us suppose that in our we take x with domain omega 1, that shall be, for example, interval AB, and y is another domain omega 2, that is another interval CD. Then to define in general two random variables, our two random variables require that we have to define the space omega 1 Cartesian product with omega 2 again. this is formed, this product is formed by all x in omega 1 and all epsilon in omega 2. Geometrically, we can represent this set as a rectangle. So if we say that this is AB, and here we take our interval C, formally we can take in the plane where in horizontal line we have omega 1, on the vertical we put omega 2. Therefore, the set where our random variables act shall be this Cartesian product. Formally, on the picture is our rectangle with base AB, the altitude that is determined by the segment vertical border is this C. And in this case, to define our process, we need to know the function that is defined Cartesian product that belongs to the 0, 1, is always between 0, 1, but when you take integral, double integral between, first we take AB, then we take CD, of our function P x epsilon, the x, and then the epsilon. So you have to integrate your function over this rectangle, and then you need this to be identically 1. This is the definition of to define two random variables, you have to define the density satisfying this property. Let us make one example, the simplest case of example. Which is not Lotka-Volterra, but again, kind of example. A, B is 0, 1, and this is equal to our D. So we assume that in this case, our domain shall be this rectangle. Actually, this is the square 0, 1. The domain where our function P is defined, and suppose that our function P x epsilon has the following form. X times epsilon and then we have a to the power x plus epsilon. In front, we have to put constant c. What we can say for this probability density? This probability density is, for this probability density, we are lucky because we can represent as constant x a to the power x times epsilon a to the power epsilon, because a to the power sum of x plus epsilon is a to the power x times a to the power epsilon. So let us call this function fx. Then this shall be our function f epsilon. And we have a situation similar as the previous example, namely probability density with separated variables. You have two functions for which x and epsilon are separated. Therefore, if you try to compute integral from 0 to 1, integral from 0 to 1, and here we have c fx, f epsilon. First we take the x, and then we take the epsilon. You see the integral in this, if I take x under my integral, this f epsilon is a constant. Epsilon is independent of x, so I can take f epsilon as a constant in front of the integral. And then we have integral from 0 to 1, f epsilon, and then I have to take integral from 0 to 1, fx dx, d epsilon. But here, as you can see, this integral you can compute. This is a constant. This is something that is independent of epsilon. So I can take this outside my integral, and I can write constant integral from 0 to 1 fx dx times integral from 0 to 1 fx dx. Sorry, this is f epsilon, but letter under the integral is not important. What we have, this integral and this integral, they are the same. So practically, I have to compute only the integral in x. When I compute this integral and plug into this condition, I shall have that this should be 1. So this relation, if I compute this and this, I can find my C. Let us compute as final step the integral, because this is one of the things that is important. I shall give only the idea. So we have integral from 0 to 1 x a to the power x dx. You compute. I shall make only the first step, shall lead to finish this example, and the next time we can restart with this thing and see what you have done. I shall perform integration by parts, so a to the power x integral from 0 to 1 x. Primitive of a to the power x is a to the power x. Therefore, I represent my integral in the form suitable for integration by parts. So I write this as applying the formula of integration by parts. This is x, a to the power x, and here I put 1, 0. So I have to compute this function in 1 plus the value in 0. And then minus integral from 0 to 1, a to the power x, and then you take derivative on x, but derivative on x is 1. This integral is from the table. This you can compute, so you have to find the final result. And when you find the final result, you have the equation C times the final result multiplied by the final result is 1. When you compute this from this relation, you shall find C. So I propose you to do this at home. And I think anytime I shall leave a little bit exercises, because we have to prepare our practical exam, so that you can work, and the next time we will see together what you have done, where are the difficulties, and to find together the final result. Okay, I think for the moment we have today succeeded to introduce the expectation generally for one random variable, and we started to speak about the case of two random variables, and we started some examples. If you don't mind, I shall stop the registration and hope to continue the next time. So let me stop.